this week on Cruisin New England. Where can you find NASCAR, gravity racing, and the age of steam in a beautiful setting? I'm Paul Manette, and I want to welcome you to part 2 of a special edition of Cruisin New England as we visit the western part of New England, the Berkshires, and a whole lot more. All my life, I've been cruising New England, meeting great people, visiting amazing places, and discovering wonderful classic and custom car collections, nostalgic automobilia, and so much more. Come on and join our adventure. I'm Paul Manette. Let's go cruising. Intercity Lines Incorporated, America's premier enclosed auto transporter, providing enclosed transport throughout the United States. Call 800-221-3936 or visit us on the web.
Experience McMulkin Chevrolet, one of the largest volume new and pre-owned Corvette dealers in the country.
I came here because I heard McMulkin has the largest selection of Corvettes in the Northeast.
I bought a GR1 because I wanted the fastest production car out there.
McMulkin has one of the most extensive inventories of coupes and convertibles, available and ready for delivery.
The Taj Mahal of Chevy dealerships. If you haven't been around, you got to come and check this place out.
Make it the true American sports car, Corvette. McMulkin Chevrolet is your Corvette dealer.
Imperial Worldwide insulation vinyl siding, copper and seamless aluminum gutters, closet-made shelving systems, and zero-clearance fireplaces. We strive to make the building process easy and fun.
Hi, I'm Jim Grundy. Many of you know me as the old original of Collector Car Insurance at Grundy. Well, today I'm here to introduce something new. We call it the Motor Vehicle Programmer MVP. MVP is designed to offer you the same great coverage with agreed value and incredible rates, not just on your collector cars, but on your daily drivers, your motorcycles, your motorhomes, your pickup trucks. If it goes over the road, we can insure it on MVP. To get a quote, call our 800 number or visit us online.
Find out what's happening. Get up-to-date information as I travel throughout New England and beyond. To get exclusive information and behind-the-scenes photos, join me on Facebook. Now you can watch Cruisin New England television every day on our website television show. You'll see past episodes featuring automobile collections, memorabilia, automobilia, car show, and cruise night segments. Don't miss our visit with Hall of Fame drag racer Don Garlitz, a private showing of Bob Bear's world-class automobile collection, and watch for special segments, unseen footage, and so much more. Join us on our website television show at cruisinNewEngland.com.
We're here, Paul.
So this is the next stop.
We're at Gregg Hasini's shop, and I want to introduce you to somebody new, Dave Moulthrop.
Dave, nice to meet you. I understand you're a famous photographer.
Yeah, I've been in the NASCAR world for most of my adult life, first as a fan, then as a photographer.
So I guess we're going to have a real close-up look at some of your photography today.
Yes, we are.
So Dave, it must be very exciting to be involved in NASCAR, especially photography.
Yeah, and photography is how I met Gregg in the first place. I started at a small track in upstate New York, Lebanon Valley Speedway, and Gregg was racing there.
And how did you get involved in photography?
I rented a camera from the local camera store. I went to an autocross at the local supermarket. I got the picture I took that day on the front page with special effects. But I said that day, this is easy, and the next race I went to was Lime Rock.
So tell us some of your most exciting moments.
Some of the most exciting moments have been at Daytona, Dover, Pocono, Ryan Newman flipping down the front stretch. 2003 at Daytona Beach, Ricky Rudd in the 80s down the front stretch at Daytona Beach, Joey Logano at Dover, Delaware, Joey Logano again at Dover, Delaware. Those are probably the three that gave me the most notoriety nationally and won awards nationally.
These wrecks were bad for them, but great for you.
Yeah, it put me in the national spotlight. I won awards from the American Auto Racing Writers and Broadcasters Association, the Eastern Motorsports Press Association, and the National Motorsports Press Association. And in 2010, I won the ABFLAP Excellence in Journalism Award in honor of Russ Catlin.
Congratulations on such a stellar career. It's very exciting. Now, what I see on the walls here, there's tremendous amount of memorabilia. And I see these doors. Not too often do you get to see racing doors in a collection, especially some of them are signed.
It starts off with, this is a 2011 fender panel from Kyle Busch. That came from Joe Gibbs Racing. We have a local resident here that works for Joe Gibbs Racing. He's the car chief on the 20. And so we kind of have an in because he grew up here.
Number 20.
That's Joey Logano door that was purchased from the Women's Automobile Motorsports Auxiliary in Las Vegas. It was a charity auction. Gregg and I were out there for the NASCAR banquet last year, and we purchased that at the charity auction. We also have the shirt from the team that goes with it.
Number 12.
Number 12 is Ryan Newman's, the era of winning the Daytona 500. It's also an autographed helmet of Ryan. It's when he drove for Roger Penske and drove the Altel car and won the Daytona 500. We have quite a bit of stuff on Dale Jr. Here is a signatures, Dale Jr.'s, Dale's sister Kelly and Rick Hendrick. That was signed on the day, and it's postmarked that they announced the Hendricks-Earnhardt going together.
Now over here, it's number 99.
That's cousin Carl. We have a signed helmet from Carl. That's actually signed twice because he didn't like the way the silver came out, so he signed it in black. This door is off the winning car from last year's race at Phoenix, the Cobalt 500 in Phoenix.
Number 43, as it keeps going on here.
Well, you know, as a kid, everybody grows up liking Richard Petty. Being a big Petty fan, I even have a Yankee shirt, and then, you know, that's almost not allowed being
I would say
the Red Sox organization. But it's Richard Petty, so it's okay. This is back from the early days in the 80s. It's a picture of Bill France Sr., Bobby Allison, and Cale Yarborough, all who are now members of the NASCAR Hall of Fame. That's back when we shot black and white, and I wish I knew where the negatives were. It's not like the digital days where I know where everything is.
So Dave, you were also involved with Paul Newman at one time.
Yeah, when he was 78 years old, his car was run out of this shop. He actually was right over here, and his car was maintained. We didn't do the work. We rented the space to two mechanics from Canaan, Connecticut. But during that whole year, the car was maintained out of this shop, and I had the pleasure of leathering the car every year.
Wow, a lot of history right here in this building. Dave, this is a real incredible helmet collection you have here.
Yeah, it starts off with Mario Andretti during his F1, an IndyCar field helmet, a NASCAR field helmet, Richard Petty, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Tony Stewart.
You must have some pretty unusual stories behind these helmets.
Yeah, you think a lot of these guys are hard to get to, and I remember getting the Tony Stewart signature, and everybody was supposed to be afraid of Tony Stewart. And I asked him if he'd do it, and he said, no, not out here, because I don't want to cause him. But come in my garage, and I'll sign anything you want. And you get to know the guys on a more personal level. Carl Edwards was the same way. You get to know the other side of them that you don't see when they're focused.
It must be a thrill to be able to get behind the scenes on this stuff.
It is.
So who do we got here? We got a helmet here for me to try on.
That's Richard Petty.
Richard Petty.
The King.
The King. And I actually am wearing a helmet that Richard Petty actually raced in. A lot more Cruisin' New England when we come back.
Waiting on back orders again? Your neighbor isn't. He ordered from NPD. National Parts Depot continues to be the nation's leading source for quality restoration parts and supplies for Ford, Truck, Mustang, Camaro, Chevelle, and Firebird. With 4 strategically located superstores, you'll find everything you need shipped to your door within 1 to 3 business days. For your free catalog, visit NPD online or call toll-free. Don't let back orders stall your project. NPD takes the frustration out of restoration.
Graphic Express, mobile lettering, custom graphics for autos, fleets, trucks, and boats. Signs of all types including awnings, storefronts, banners, and more.
Intercity Lines Incorporated is America's premier enclosed auto transporter with service to all 48 states. Intercities features 53-foot air ride trailers equipped with lift gates for level loading of all vehicles. Intercities drivers are the most experienced in the auto transport business and treat each car as if it was their own. Intercity provides transport services for car owners, auto manufacturers, dealers, museums, auto auctions, concours, and racing events. Call us toll-free or visit our website.
Don't miss the Amherst Outdoor Antique Auto Show and Flea Market, Amherst, New Hampshire, the last Sunday of the month, April through October. Over 500 spots. Gates open at 6 a.m. with free admission.
Cash for Gold, the place to sell your unwanted gold and diamonds. Where you sell your jewelry is as important as where you buy it. We at Cash for Gold are diamond and gold specialists. We will buy all size diamonds, gold chains, rings, bracelets, silver coins, and even broken jewelry. Often we pay 2 to 3 times higher than pawn shop prices. We also pay up to 90% of the daily price of both diamonds and gold. We are the original, authentic, family-run Cash for Gold and have been for more than 28 years. Visit us at 527 South Broadway, Route 28 in Salem, New Hampshire.
When September comes, the party begins. Cruise on over to the Big E in West Springfield, Mass. September the 14th through the 30th.
So we're back here with Gregg Hasini. And Gregg, this place is a heck of a lot different than visiting your father's place with all the classic cars and memorabilia and all types of things. What do you have here?
You're right, Paul. This is our shop I bought 4 years ago, and this is, we have Hidden Valley Motorsports is what we run out of here. We do restorations in vintage cars, we do restorations in modern cars, and we built and maintained, I believe, 5 or 6 race cars out of this shop.
What are you working on right now? Do you have any projects going now?
Right now, this car was here, we did the body here. This car will race tomorrow night. When I raced back in the 70s and 80s, I raced against, this is Rick McDowell, I raced against his father on dirt tracks. And Rick found this, it probably came out of the weeds someplace. He did a full restoration for it. It races in the Vintage Racing Series.
So Gregg, can you tell me a little bit more about this? I mean, how fast does it go?
They can run it loud in New Hampshire, and I imagine they can get up to 120, 130 miles an hour. The engine is a small block Chevy engine. I didn't be part of the building of it, so I can't tell you how many horsepower it'll put out, but probably, you know, put out 400 to 450 horsepower.
You know, I see this beautiful race car here, but I also noticed a couple of vehicles you have here that I've really never seen before, and I would like to talk about it because I'm sure that our audience here has never seen them either. So let's have a look at these.
Sure. These right here, Paul, are gravity race cars. This car right here, my son built. And these actually race tomorrow. In Sharon, Connecticut, they have a gravity race. And they were raced earlier in the year in May in Great Barrington at a gravity race there.
Gregg, tell us what a gravity racer is.
Well, what they do, Paul, is they'll start on top of a hill, and you have to gain momentum as you're going down the hill. I believe that the course in Sharon has some turns to it, so it makes it a little bit more challenging. But when you start on top, you're just sitting still. So you have to maybe turn your wheels a little bit to start a little momentum, and then as you go down the hill, gravity takes over and your speed picks up.
Gregg, is this like a soapbox derby?
No, it's a little bit more sophisticated than that, Paul. One of the regulations is you have to run at least 3 wheels on the car, where some guys might go 2 wheels in the front, 1 wheel in the back, or 4 wheels. My son came up with the idea to get 3 tires in line. And of course, when you do that, it's hard to hold yourself straight when you're on that line with nothing holding you up. He's got little training wheels on the side. And as soon as he gets going a little momentum, he pulls up his training wheels. And when he pulls up his training wheels, he's going and he's on 3 wheels.
So how old is your son?
My son is 35, Paul.
So this isn't kid stuff?
No, not at all. This is adult toys. When you're in this one, you have to lay down pretty much on your belly. You're on your knees and you're down as far as you can go. Get your head out of the wind and look through the tinted glass and hope you make the turns. Once you start picking up speed, some of these speeds are pretty incredible. They'll get up to 45, 50 miles an hour. And at the bottom of the hill, you got to hope your brakes work, because if you don't, you're going into the hay bale barrier. As you can see by the way I'm in here, this wasn't exactly built for comfort.
Not built for comfort, but built for speed. So Gregg, what do we have here?
Here, Paul, we have one that's a little bit different design. This is a 4-wheel one. Has a different body style. He looks like we tried to get a little bit more aerodynamic. This was built by my son's friend in my son's shop at home.
Now this is more soapbox derby looking though.
It is. And this one here, they're different, as in this one you'll slide into it like a regular car and lay back and do your driving.
I can tell you one thing, there's no problem with gravity with me. So Greg, now we're going to have a look at some of your personal stuff.
That's correct, Paul. This is my office and my shop right here. And in this shop I have some of my own personal things, such as when I was back racing cars myself. I have a picture of my first original car, and then I have a picture of a program that was done with me with my race car on it, with everything, an interview with me. It was quite unique. It was something I cherish very much, and my son does and my grandchildren do. And actually I have a picture of my first race car. Where it ended up wasn't too good. It ended up in the air, upside backwards, going down the track, and I do believe I barrel rolled 5 times that day before we came to an end. Collapsed the roll cage around my head, and that was the end of my first race car.
Boy, you are lucky to be here today, aren't you?
I went through some pretty good tumbles in race cars.
I want to thank you very much for giving us this tour and seeing a lot of your photography. It's been a great 2 days, Greg. I'm going to tell you, I appreciate all you've done for us. But you know what? We're ready to move on here in the Berkshires. Jay, you ready to take off?
Let's go to the next stop, Paul.
When we come back, a lot more from the Berkshires on Cruisin New England. Welcome to the Town Fair Tire Recognition Award Series. Each week we're going to be giving away an award to recognize a classic car owner throughout New England. I'm here with Jim Giuliano. He's the Vice President of Marketing and Advertising for Town Fair Tire.
Paul, Town Fair Tire is a proud sponsor of the Recognition Award Series. At the end of the series, we're going to have a Town Fair Tire Choice Award winner for the $500 gift certificate.
It's going to be very exciting. Jim, I'd like to introduce you to Paul Worry.
Paul, tell us a little bit about your truck.
It's a customized 1950 Chevy with a Chevy high performance motor.
Looks truly awesome, and on behalf of Town Fair Tire, I'd like to present you with the trophy and the gift certificate.
Get to Town Fair Tire. You always get free mounting, free flat repair, free tire rotation, free snow tire changeover. Drive with confidence. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Would you like information about Cruisin New England Productions? Cruisin New England magazine has been the premier auto and events magazine for nearly 20 years. Cruisin New England Car Show series includes the Elite Dream Machines Rock and Roll Weekend at Mohegan Sun Casino, the Super Wheel Showdown on City Hall Plaza, Boston, and the Spooktacular Cruisin' Classic. Or for personal appearances by Paul Manette or advertising on our television show, contact us at cruisenewengland@aol.com.
Now you can watch Cruisin New England television every day on our website television show. You'll see past episodes featuring automobile collections, memorabilia, automobilia, car show, and cruise night segments. Don't miss our visit with Hall of Fame drag racer Don Garlitz, a private showing of Bob Bear's world-class automobile collection, and watch for special segments, unseen footage, and so much more. Join us on our website television show at cruisinewengland.com. welcome to part 2 of our visit to Western New England. What do we have here today, Jay?
We're at the Connecticut Antique Machinery Museum, and I'd like you to meet Jim Daly.
Jim, nice to meet you.
Nice to see you, Paul.
Wow, this is a beautiful venue, Jim. What do you have here?
Well, we're very proud of the fact that we have lovely grounds, but we have a large complex, a mining museum here, tremendous collection of gems, documents the history of mining right here in Connecticut. In front of us is our industrial hall with gigantic steam engines that powered the Industrial Revolution 100 years ago.
So, Jim, I understand that the star attraction here is a very rare steam engine locomotive.
Well, we have lots to see here, Paul, but that is the star attraction. It's a gem, and I know you want to see it today.
Well, I hope I get a chance to ride it.
I promise you that.
So, Jim, what do we have here in the building?
Paul, this is our industrial hall where we have rescued and preserved and display the machines that powered the Industrial Revolution, which changed everyone's lives. This is a 14-foot flywheel on a machine that ran a sawmill up in New Hampshire. We have machines that date from the 1850s right up to the early 1900s. This changed everyone's lives, raised their standard of living, made workers more productive. Steam was king during the Industrial Revolution. They were later replaced by electric motors and gasoline engines, so we have preserved these. Many of them were scrapped. We sometimes have the last example of some machines that ran New England's industry. All of the machines in this building run, except for the one over here, which is being restored by now. Right now, it's a 2-year project that we're working on. It once ran an entire paper plant over in Newburgh, New York. It'll be running within a year.
So your association actually buys stuff that you have to restore. Actually, you're starting off from scratch.
Many times we're given a machine that has been maybe in a cocoon for 50 years. So it'll have an accumulation of rust and grease on it, many, many years old. And sometimes we have to disassemble a building to get it out. Then we bring it here. We haven't bought anything in this building. It's all been donated, and riggers and machinists have helped us bring the stuff to the state now where it all runs. Paul, this is a tractor that's over 100 years old. It's called a steam traction tractor, predated modern tractors that ran on gasoline and kerosene. It burns wood. It not only was a tractor that could plow huge fields, make the farmer more productive, it was a mobile power plant where you would hook machines up to that and run a sawmill or blow silage or pump water. It was a machine that would come to your property and make you as a farmer much more productive. This was something that's an ancestor to the modern tractors we see on farms today. It was built in 1906. It's over 100 years old, and it runs.
Jim, I've never seen anything like this before. This is an actual steam-powered motorcycle.
This is actually one of a kind. A very talented machinist took an East German motorcycle, stripped everything off it, and fabricated himself the steam engine that's on here now. The first person that rides this under steam, which will be soon, I would be a little bit nervous because there's a lot of pressure right underneath you, but it does run.
So all the pressure is underneath the seat?
That's correct.
You said it's a one-of-a-kind
one of a
piece.
kind.
Is this something that he might do another one of, or was he just going to keep it one of?
The man who built it, unfortunately, is no longer alive, and his widow donated it to us. And we're very fortunate to have it here. And we have machinists that will be able to maintain it, and we have people that are anxious to drive it, so we will. We think this is the kind of a piece that Jay Leno would just love.
I think he might even be watching.
I hope so.
A lot more Cruisin' New England when we come back. I'm Paul Minette, and I'm proud to be named the spokesperson for the Food Allergy Education Network.
Food allergies are a growing and serious health concern. 1 in 12 children in the United States has food allergies. That's 2 children in every classroom. There is no cure for food allergies. The only way to keep our children safe is through education. Learn the facts about food allergies. Know the signs and symptoms of anaphylaxis.
You can save a life.
I got involved because of my granddaughter, and I hope you get involved too.
Would you like information about Cruisin New England productions? Cruisin New England magazine has been the premier auto and events magazine for nearly 20 years. Cruisin New England Car Show series includes the Elite Dream Machines Rock and Roll Weekend at Mohegan Sun Casino, the Super Wheel Showdown on City Hall Plaza, Boston, and the Spooktacular Cruisin' Classic. Or for personal appearances by Paul Minette or advertising on our television show, contact us at cruisenewengland@aol.com.
Building maintenance services. We've been servicing the Northeast since 1990. We service and repair revolving doors, automatic and handicap doors. We can help you design an attractive, efficient entrance you can be proud of. Protect your investment and secure your property with yearly maintenance contracts and 24-hour service. Whether in office, medical, or commercial high-rise, we'll get the job done right for you. Building Maintenance Services.
Tired of waiting for delivery of your classic car parts? You need NPD. National Parts Depot continues to be the nation's leading source for quality restoration parts and supplies for Ford, Truck, Mustang, Camaro, Chevelle, and Firebird. With 4 strategically located superstores, you'll find everything you need shipped to your door within 1 to 3 business days. For your free catalog, visit NPD online or call toll-free. Don't be the last guy on the block to get your ride rolling. NPD takes the frustration out of restoration.
Jim, this is an impressive collection, but you know, I've come here to see that very special train.
I can't blame you, Paul. I love it myself, even though I have a great passion for these machines. Let's take a walk and see the train.
You know, Jim, Jay wasn't going to let me leave Western New England without a ride on a train, and that was really nice.
Isn't this a real gem, Paul? This machine was built in 1925 by Baldwin Locomotive Works in Philadelphia, but it lived out its working life on the Big Island in Hawaii on a sugar plantation. And then after it had been used up out there, it made its way here to Kent, Connecticut, where we love it and treat it with tender loving care. And it'll be here for other people to ride on for many years to come, we hope. Paul, let me introduce you to our engineer, Jim Anderson.
Nice to meet you.
And this is our fireman, Trevor Marshall.
Nice to meet you, Trevor.
Very talented individual.
So they're going to be with me with a ride.
Yes, they are. You're in good hands.
All right, let's go.
Well, you have a forward and reverse lever right here. If you move the lever forward, it goes forward. If you move the lever back, it goes back. That's called the Johnson bar. This is the throttle. That just gives you the steam to move in whatever direction this tells you to go. That's a lubricator for lubricating the pump and the 2 cylinders. And this is the brake, something you want to have. And this gauge here is the boiler pressure. We run at 140 psi. And this is our brake air pressure. And right now we're at 70 psi. If you want, I can show you the fire. This is an oil-fired burner. It came from the factory as an oil burner. And it was built for the Hawaiian market because they didn't have a lot of wood and coal there, so they wanted to have it burn oil.
All the big boys have the real big toys.
That's for sure. Okay, now to go forward, the Johnson bar is forward, and I just give it some throttle. Make sure the brakes are charged. Give it 2 toots for forward. And here we go.
There's a lot of things you have to remember there.
There is.
Boy, this is really great. And this is a pretty rare locomotive.
Yes, it is. Yep.
Well, most of the steam locomotives that still do exist are in a park with a fence around them. They'll never run again. So we're very proud of the fact that we do have one that does run.
Well, I feel pretty proud that I'm able to have a ride in it.
Great to have you here with us.
Ring the bell.
Oh yeah, Paul, ring the bell. Give it a good yank.
Ah, nice and loose. Do you think I'm gonna leave here without doing this? You're crazy. Hey, all right. Well, I hope I get to ride on it in the future, too. I had a blast.
We got to get you to drive it before you leave here today.
Sounds good to me.
How about right now, Paul?
Well, let's go. Let's go. From Western New England, I'm Paul Minette. Until next time, I'll be cruising New England.
Mm-hmm.